And we are back with another episode of Straight Out the Lou. As always, I'm Dylan, joined by Luke and Chris. Today, we have an action-packed episode as we look forward to the NFL playoffs, and we look forward to the national championship in college football. If we have time, we will also be touching on this week's NBA action, including Boston Celtics Miami Heat rematch, a little showdown from the bubble, and also looking back towards some of the Warriors matchups from this past few days. Okay, so to start our segment today on the NFL playoffs, we are going to be going through our brackets for the playoff and telling you who is going to win Super Bowl 55. Okay, Luke, you were very eager to show us your bracket. Before the episode, Luke was very eager to show us his bracket. So, Luke, you can start us off here.
All right, so I'll start in the AFC side with Buffalo, Indianapolis. That's the 1 o'clock game on tomorrow. I don't see Buffalo have any problems here. I think they're going to roll. Josh Allen's been on fire. No problems here. Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Cleveland dealing with the COVID problems. I got Pittsburgh coming out in that game, and, Cleveland just being the Browns. Just, they're coming out of there. Tennessee, Baltimore. For some reason, ESPN thinks that Baltimore has a chance in this game. It baffles my mind. Tennessee is going to beat these clowns. Lamar Jackson will improve his playoff record to 0-3. So then the next round, we got Kansas City, Tennessee. Can't pick against Mahomes here. I think Tennessee's got a good team, but the Chiefs' offense just stacked. Moving on, Pittsburgh, Buffalo. We already saw that matchup week 12, I think it was, on Sunday Night Football. Buffalo destroyed them. I think it will be closer, but I do have Buffalo coming out of that game, setting up a showdown between Kansas City and Buffalo, where, I wanted to take Buffalo here. Maybe one of you guys might have taken Buffalo to go to the Super Bowl, but I went with the safe pick. I went with Kansas City. I think they're just too talented, too good. They've been there, done that. First year for Buffalo. They'll be around for a long time.
All right, fair enough. Chris, let's hear your AFC side. We'll come back to you, Luke, for the NFC side.
Yeah, I'll warn you here. This is going to be some picks to probably scoff at, and I'm being a little stubborn with my Super Bowl pick of AFC winner because it was my preseason pick to win the conference. I think the Colts are going to beat the Bills. I think I saw Josh Allen play last year in the playoffs, and he was awful. So until he proves to me that he can play in the playoffs, I'm not picking him to win a playoff game. So I'm taking.
Again, I'd rather have Phillip Rivers' ninth kid play quarterback than Phillip Rivers himself play quarterback. So.
Well, I'd rather have Phillip Rivers in a playoff game than Josh Allen because Josh Allen was the worst. I've never seen anybody play.
He went to overtime in a playoff game, and he's 0-1. He's lost one game.
Yeah, well,
Rivers has never won a playoff game.
He was trying to run for a first down, and he literally threw the ball backwards. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life.
You ever watch the Patriots play San Diego in the playoffs? It's a nightmare.
No, I'm taking the Colts. All right.
Okay, fun.
What was the next game we did? The Pittsburgh game. I'm taking Pittsburgh big. Celtics point. Luke explained that well. And the Tennessee game, I also like Tennessee big. Baltimore, that's Lamar Jackson, 0-3. I'm also taking the Colts to beat the Chiefs. I think that's a good matchup against the Chiefs. They're going to be able to possess the football. I think Rivers will make some plays in the fourth quarter. This is more of a hunch pick right here, but I'll take them. And then I'll take Pittsburgh to beat Tennessee. And I'll take Pittsburgh to beat the Colts and win the AFC. Basically, I'm only doing that. I'm mainly doing that because that was my preseason pick, and I'm very.
I think you swapped it. You'd have Tennessee would be playing the Chiefs, and then Pittsburgh.
No, because
they reseed.
Oh, let's go!
They reseed, really.
Big goal. Sorry about that, but no, yeah, they do. They reseed in the NFL.
I was not aware of that. Okay.
Sorry, we just took the lead.
Yeah, the Patriots. us Patriots fans know about that because we are top seed every year. So we'll inform you.
Sure. Fair enough. Yeah, I was not aware of that. I like that. Okay. So for my AFC picture, pretty straightforward here, besides one pick. So I have the Bills beating the Colts outright. They'll cover the spread, all that. And then I am going to go with Cleveland beating Pittsburgh here. I think Baker Mayfield's going to really step up to the plate. I think that those players are going to rally around each other without their head coach.
What's your stat line? What do you think your stat line is for Baker?
Stat line for Baker, He's probably going to throw upwards of 40 passes. So I'll put him at like 44 passes. He'll probably complete 25 of them. Go for like 320 something passing
Okay, I'm going to
yards.
stop you right there. He's never thrown for more than 150 against the Steelers. So
And then give me 3 touchdowns and 1 pick. So we have Baker beating the Steelers there. And give me Lamar beating the Titans. Give me the Ravens beating the Titans. So then you have Cleveland playing the Chiefs. Chiefs easy. And then Baltimore would be playing Buffalo. Give me Buffalo. We have Chiefs Buffalo, and then I'm taking the Chiefs for the Super Bowl again. So going back to the NFC here, Luke, start us off with the NFC.
From what I've heard from these other two guys, I really hope that my playoff picks aren't the worst because I thought I almost threw up listening to those two. But I'm going to go in the first game. You know, all the supporting listeners that we are, our daily listeners know that I've been on the football team for a long time now. But it ends tomorrow as Tampa Bay will get the win over the football team. I got the Seahawks beating the Rams. To be fair, I think this is going to be a close game. I think Russell Wilson is better suited for the big game than, a Jared Goff, who also will not be 100% healthy. He might play, but he's not going to be 100% healthy. I like Seattle. I like New Orleans beating Chicago. Chicago's a joke. Even though Drew Brees is a choking dog, which I have him losing in the divisional round to the Seahawks, and the Seahawks advancing to the conference championship, where they'll play Tampa Bay, who will beat Green Bay in Lambeau. They faced him earlier this year, obviously in Tampa Bay, but Brady's a cold weather quarterback. He's not going to be scared. He went in and beat Mahomes on the road. He's not going to be nervous. It depends on how the defense plays, but I think they'll be fine. And then I got Tampa Bay beating Seattle. I think that's where the end of Russell Wilson comes. Gets him to the conference championship, but I think that defense finally folds when they got to face the greatest quarterback of all time. So that's who I got in my Super Bowl, Kansas City, Tampa Bay.
Enough.
Yeah.
We'll come back to your Super Bowl pick after we get the other two.
I actually have the same exact bracket as Luke here in the NFC. But I will say something about the Saints-Bears game. I mean, the Saints are definitely going to try and lose this game here at some point because that's what they do in the first round. But I just think there's a point where you get to a team is so bad that they're not gonna beat a team like the Saints. And I just think the Bears are one of the worst playoff teams we've ever seen. And but I think that game will be close. And your point about Seattle, the game being close there, I would be shocked if Seattle participated in any blowout in this postseason because I don't even remember. Aside from the Jets game this year, I can't recall Seattle participating in a blowout since the Super Bowl when they destroyed Denver. So,
were the Seahawks not beaten by the Jets?
No, they beat the Jets.
They beat them like 40-7.
They lost to the Giants.
Yeah, they lost to the Giants.
That's the team.
All right, so yeah, same bracket.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay over the football team, easy. Give me Jared Goff beating the Seahawks. I don't see the Seahawks beating the Rams 2 games in a row. I don't really see that happening. I think Jared Goff's going to have a decent enough game to get them the dub. That defense is going to stifle Russell Wilson in that offense there.
Well, they stifled him last time, and then Jared Goff was just horrible.
Yeah, so I think I'm counting on Jared having a above-average game there and putting him over the edge and getting a dub. And then we have New Orleans. As you were saying, Chris, it's a dicey game. Any game with New Orleans in the first round's dicey, but I can't. I mean, Drew Brees against Mitch Trubisky, come on. So we're going to go Drew Brees there, taking the dub. Here's where we're going to differ a little bit besides that NFC West matchup. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers over Brady here. I know that's going to be not a likable pick by many of our viewers, but I don't see Rodgers really slowing down, and I'm going to take him at home. So we're going to have the Packers in the conference championship, and I'm going to put the Saints in that championship over the Rams there, and then give me Packers-Chiefs in the Super Bowl. All right, Luke, who do you got winning it?
This was a pretty easy pick for me. Biggest game of the year, Super Bowl. Nobody better to do it than Tom Brady. Give me Brady and the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl over the Chiefs, and a real close one in a classic.
Give me what would you set the over-under at if you were a casino?
I think I would set the over-under at 63.
Dang, okay.
Even though it's a little high, I think people would. I'll go a little lower. I'll go 61. Because I think it would be like a 34-31 game where Brady and Mahomes just go back at it, 2-minute drill, just like we saw in the AFC Championship game a couple years ago.
Fair enough. Chris, who you got?
I got Tampa Bay over Pittsburgh. Close game because they always play. Brady always plays in close games in the Super Bowl. Your over-under question, I think, would be I would set it like 53, 54, something like that.
Well, yeah, but you got Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah, for
Pittsburgh,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, and, I'd take the Bucks 24, 21, something like that.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I have Rodgers going against Mahomes here. Two gunslingers, obviously two quarterbacks who have talented people to throw the football to. So I'm gonna probably end up taking Mahomes here. As I've been saying all year, this season to me is somewhat of a joke. Mahomes, I think, is gonna run away with it. He'll win the game handily. High scoring though. I'm gonna set my over under at a solid 61 as well. Okay, so for this week of NFL playoff matchups, we're going to go through here and we'll give you guys the spread, and we are going to tell you who is going to cover and who is not going to cover.
We don't make the bets.
Okay. We do not make the bets. We only analyze them. All right. We're going to start with the NFC here. We're not going chronologically. We're just going straight through it here as ESPN is presenting it to me. Chris, we'll start with you. We have the New Orleans Saints against the Chicago Bears. Saints are at home, and they are favored by 8.5 points. Do you have the Saints minus 8.5, or do you have the Bears plus 8.5?
I'm going to take the Bears plus 8.5 here. I think the Saints are just going to do a little bit too much to try and lose. I think they'll win the game, but you can't doubt what the Saints try and do in playoffs. So I'll take the Bears to cover.
Fair enough. Next matchup here, we have the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Los Angeles Rams. And the Seahawks are minus 4.5, Rams plus 4.5. Who do you take?
Rams to cover. Seattle to win. Because the Seattle will try to make this so close.
Football team hosting Tampa Bay, excuse me. Tampa Bay is favored 7.5. Who do you have?
That's a tough one. I think the Bucks cover barely, but yeah, barely.
Okay, heading into the AFC here, we have Buffalo taking on Indianapolis at home with fans. Bills minus 6.5, Colts plus 6.5. Who do you got?
Colts are going to win the game, so I'm taking the Colts to cover.
Steelers, Browns. Steelers are hosting the Browns. They are favored 3.5 points. Who do you take?
Pittsburgh to cover. Yep.
Titans, Ravens. Titans are at home here, and the Ravens are favored minus 4.5. Who do you take?
Easiest bet of the week, Tennessee. I don't know how the Ravens are favored in this game. I'm taking Tennessee.
Fair enough. All right, Luke, going at it here with you. Going in the same order here. Saints, Bears. Saints minus 8.5. Who do you take?
I like the Saints here to cover. I think it's going to be a really close game, but I know there's going to be a Mitch Trubisky pick six to end the game.
So you think they win by 2 scores or more?
The Saints are going to be up 3 or 4, and he's going to throw a pick six, and the Saints are going to cover.
Okay, and then next matchup, Seahawks Rams. Seahawks minus 4.5.
Yeah, I'll stay with the Seahawks. I mean the Rams. My fault. The Rams.
Rams. Okay, Rams plus 4.5. Okay.
Yeah, Seahawks always play a close game, so yeah, Rams there.
Fair enough. Buccaneers football team. Bucks minus 7.5.
Good note the football team here. I think
Plus
they're going to get a garbage
7.5.
time touchdown. I'm gonna keep the football team covered.
And then we have Bills Colts. Bills minus 6.5.
Yeah, the Bills are going to cover that.
Steelers Browns. Steelers minus 3.5.
That line is awful. I mean, that's Steelers, just automatic.
Okay. And then Titans Ravens. Ravens minus 4.5. Titans are hosting.
That line baffles me. I mean, you could be picking Baltimore in this game, but doesn't that baffle you a little bit? Seeing Tennessee
It is
beat them.
interesting.
They beat them in the last 2 times they've played, so I'm going to take Tennessee.
I don't know. Vegas might know something.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go through it real quick here. Okay, so we have Saints Bears. Saints -8.5. That's a lock. I'm taking Saints -8.5. Bears aren't going to get any momentum in this game at any point at all. Seahawks Rams. Seahawks -4.5. Do not place money on that. We're going to take the Rams there +4.5. Football team Tampa Bay. This one is tricky. I don't know about this one. I mean, football team's got a really solid defense. I mean, they'll put up a few points here and there, but I'm going to have to go with Bucks -7.5. I don't think that football team's going to keep it that close. Bills Colts. Bills -6.5. I see this game being close. I really see this game being a close one. I'm going to go Colts +6.5 here. Steelers Browns. Steelers are -3.5 favorites. I obviously already gave my pick on this game, so I'm going to have to go Browns +3.5. And then Titans Ravens. Ravens -4.5. I like the Ravens winning this game. I do not like them winning by at least 5 points. Not at all. So we're going to take the Titans +4.5 there. Yeah, those are locks. We are not going to be betting on those locks, obviously, but we definitely encourage you to take our picks because they are winning picks.
My lock of the week, I think I'm going to go with Tennessee. Lock of the week.
Agree.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, honestly. That game's going to be really close. I have the Ravens winning it, but it's a toss-up for me. It's going to be a close one either way. We have a little bit of time here, so let's squeeze this in real quick. Let's talk about the Celtics and the Heat. We had the Celtics winning by 10-plus points, I think, throughout most of the second and third quarter. And what do you know? The Heat come back, reminiscent of the bubble. Peyton Pritchard bailed them out at the end of the game. But what else happened? What else did you guys see in that?
Yeah, I mean, I was only able to catch the last 2 minutes of the game. What I saw on the last play of the game, 105, trap Tatum at the half-court line. Not a big fan of that from Spo right there. Didn't think that was a great idea because Tatum hasn't proved he's a clutch go-to option. Didn't like that. Just let Butler one-on-one. If he beats Butler, he beats Butler. That's the way we're going out. We trap him. They rotate the ball to Smart, and Duncan Robinson's on him. He drives on Robinson. He throws up probably the worst shot I think I've ever seen in my life, and nobody boxes out. Everyone just got caught ball watching. Pritchard puts it in. But then one of the things that everybody seemed to notice, and that's been talked about a lot out here in Boston, is did anybody see Marcus Smart after that play? I know Chris probably did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to talk about that. Yeah.
Whining to the official, just absolutely whining after the clearest dive ever. This guy is a bum. Like 5 seconds left in the game. This guy is diving every single time. He has Robinson on him. He goes to the lane. He's got an easy layup, and he bails out and dives and tries to make the official make a call. You're not getting that call anymore. Everyone knows he does it. He's not getting that call anymore, and I think it's a joke to basketball. I think he should be fined for that, and he's lucky. Not that I'm complaining about this part, but he's lucky he didn't get hit up with a technical. I don't think he should have. I think that'd be soft. But the way the league is, you got to watch out. These refs don't mess around, and he really could. If he gives a technical there, Chris is gonna have a heart attack.
Do you think it's fair to call flopping a form of cheating?
Nah.
Should be a technical. I think it should be
In basketball, yeah. I saw they gave LaMelo Ball a warning for a dive where he was just trying to draw a foul on Ben Simmons. It was a dive, and they gave them a warning. Next time, I think it's a fine. I think they made a new rule, but I mean, that's just outrageous from Smart.
Yeah. So I'm going to take out the last couple minutes here for a second, or the last minute, really, because I have something to say about that. But I was impressed, and we still don't have one of our best players, and I'm interested to see how he comes back into the offense because Tatum and Brown have really developed.
I'm really interested, too, to see how much worse you guys get when he gets back.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but you can clearly see that Tatum and Brown have improved, especially in the aspect of playmaking. I mean, Brown obviously in the scoring end, but really Tatum's playmaking has really improved. And I was very impressed down the stretch there. Tatum hit a big three. Brown hit a big three. They go up 10. And, Miami came back. But I don't know if you guys saw the last 2-minute report from the game. They said Robinson fouled Grant Williams, 56 seconds left. They missed the call. Butler fouled Tatum with 50 seconds left. They missed the call. Tatum did not foul Duncan Robinson on the three-pointer they called the foul on. And then Robinson did foul Smart with 1.8 seconds left. Didn't matter. But
that's kidding. Like, that's what they said in the report?
That's what they said in the report. But
they said that was a foul?
Yeah. So,
Do you think that was a foul?
That's what they said. I don't
Do you think –
No.
Yeah, okay.
But
Thank
anyways,
God.
good win for the Celtics. They're playing pretty well right now. They're blowing out Washington. Take that with what you want. Washington sucks. But, we'll see what happens when Kemba comes back. But they're playing well. After that horrific showing in Detroit, got to keep it up. Got to keep playing well.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that was an exciting game to watch. Like I said, reminiscent of the bubble.
Not too reminiscent because the Celtics won this one, so.
True. But up until that last minute there, it felt very familiar. Both very exciting teams to watch. Looking forward to what they do with the rest of their seasons. The Warriors, real quick, yeah, I'll touch on that. So Steph, after I called upon him and the Warriors to step up with their shooting game on our blog, he dropped a 62-piece. I must say he answered the call. They were looking good after that game, and then they went into Sacramento, and Steph only had to play 3 quarters. It's great. It's awesome. It's what you want. You love to see Draymond Green and Steph Curry on the bench in the fourth quarter. It's something we haven't seen.
That guy sucks now.
Draymond?
Yeah.
He doesn't score the basketball, but if you watch him out there, like he
plays good defense. Yeah.
He facilitates the offense beautifully, and his defense, he hasn't lost a step since his Defensive Player of the Year season. He's still unreal there. So he influences the game in a much-needed way for the Warriors, definitely. But the concern for me, not so much of a concern, but the one red flag is that seen the other night when we played a high top-tier team in the Clippers, you have – to win games like that, you need Steph Curry to be able to score. But he's not going to be able to score when he's triple-teamed. When he has 3 defenders on him, he's not going to be able to score the basketball. Not possible. And it's tough to find passing lanes in that same situation. But you want to get him the ball. So you're in a predicament there where you need a Klay Thompson and you need a second option. And they really don't have that. So tonight they play in 50 minutes from now as we are recording this episode. They play at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Tonight, look for Andrew Wiggins to step up. That'll be much needed if they are going to win the game. One player, and ending this little segment here, one player to watch this year on the Warriors who's been making an impact every single game this season off the bench and who's very impressive on both ends of the court. Great two-way guy. Plays small ball 5. Eric Pascal. This guy is unreal. His perimeter shooting is very suspect, but with the ball in his hands, he's powerful, and he has a pull-up game that's solid, and he's really good around the rim. And defensively, he's a firecracker. So,
I thought you were going to say Brad Wanamaker.
Oh yeah, Brad Wanamaker, baby.
How's he doing?
He's not doing too great. He'll make a 3 every once in a while, but
he sucks.
Not it. All right, that'll end our NBA segment here. So,
let me get one more shout out real quick.
Go for
First
it.
of all, shout out Jay Brennan for the merch. But Team USA in hockey pulled off an historic upset on Tuesday. Shout out Matty Beniers, Hingham, Mass, local native. Some said he was a better baseball player than he was a hockey player, but clearly that's not true. Historic upset for the gold in the World Juniors. Good for them and good for the country as we burn to the ground.
National championship.
College football playoff championship. We have Alabama, Ohio State. Justin Fields with the big upset last weekend, beating Trevor Lawrence.
I was impressed. I was wrong. I had a feeling that game was going to be a blowout. I was leaning towards Clemson. I didn't really feel like it was going to be a close game. But he proved me wrong. And I'm just going to go ahead and give my prediction real quick. I think give me Alabama, but give me Ohio State to cover and give me it in a really close game. I'm not going to doubt Ohio State again. I think Fields is going to have a really good game again on that Alabama defense. And it's going to be a great one. It's going to be one that people are going to remember. But Devontae Smith is too much. It's going to be too much for Sean Wade to cover, and Alabama's going to win this game.
So you think you have Ohio State covering +8?
Oh, yeah. I think Alabama's probably going to kick like a game-winning field goal. It's going to come down to the end.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a tight one. Keep in mind that this 8-point spread may change before the game. So if you were watching before Monday,
We don't
count on this line, though. Do not count on this line because it's subject to change for sure. Chris, obviously Ohio State is the underdog in this game. What are some keys to them coming away from this game with a victory?
Well, it's a similar thing I said about Notre Dame. They have to be able to run the ball. Trey Sermon has to be a big factor in this game. That I don't think Justin Fields and their passing game can score with Alabama. I just don't think they can do it. So I think they have to be able to run and possess the ball. I mean, it's a tall task because Bama's offense is probably going to score most times. I think Alabama's going to win big.
I think Ohio State can keep time of possession though. I think they can run the ball. They got a great offensive line. Their defensive line is exceptional. If they put a little bit of pressure on Mac Jones, you saw Notre Dame forced a couple of good defensive series. I mean, Ohio State could easily do that and stay in the game.
Garbage time.
The third quarter? Dude, it's college football playoff. There's no garbage time in third quarter college football
That's another
playoff.
thing I want to talk about, the playoff. Another disastrous year for the playoff. 2 blowouts. There's something that needs to change here. It's every year. The games are a disgrace. It's a complete joke. But anyways, I'm taking Bama big. That's my pick.
Bama big. So they're going to cover 8 points.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want to go Ohio State here, right? I really do.
Yeah,
and I would go Ohio State here had Justin Fields had a better Big Ten championship against Northwestern. Because
or if his ribs weren't in 2 pieces.
That didn't seem to be an issue. I think he sacked up and got that. I mean, he obviously got it done with the ribs. I mean,
I know, but it's like, like when you get an injury, like in a game, like adrenaline's just all like you got the adrenaline, you're just ready to go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's just something about you got to take a week off, you got to rehab. You're thinking about it way more than usual. If he gets off to a good start, I can definitely see Ohio State winning this game.
Yeah, so I would have Ohio State winning for a pick if he had played better in that Big Ten championship because I think he would be carrying a lot more momentum. I mean, clearly he would be if they had won, be carrying a lot more momentum with him coming into this game. I just think that last game he had against Clemson was a little bit of just kind of like a single firecracker performance. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to carry that over. That juice. The key to them winning, like you said, Chris, would definitely have to be Trey Sermon. That man is a problem. And if he has the ball in his hands consistently throughout this game, obviously they're going to run the clock down, keep the ball in their possession. And I think that they'll be able to run on this defense a little bit. I mean, nobody's really done it too successfully this year. But look for it. Look for it on Monday because that's going to be a huge part of Ohio State's offense for sure. But I'm going to have Bama winning this game outright. But I will take Ohio State +8. I think they will keep it within 8 points for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Well, that was somewhat quick in terms of straight out the loose standards. And very, very action-packed episode as promised. Just want to thank you all for tuning in. And be sure to check out our blog. It's currently linked in the bio of our Instagram. Obviously, all videos are going to be accessible both through the blog and then on YouTube directly through the app, web browser, whatever you use to watch your YouTube. But that'll do it. Thank you for watching Straight Out the Lou.